Hi, it's Dave Johal for Raps on TV. Pleased to be joined by Lauren, the Lionheart Parker. How are you, Lauren?
I'm very well, thank you. Are you good?
I'm good, I'm good. What you've been up to? I mean, during lockdown, pandemic, we're almost out now. We're almost out, touch wood.
I know.
What have you been up to?
Just keeping really busy, to be honest. I've used the time really positively to really focus on my training the best I can. I've been working really closely with my coach, Paul Webber, travelling to and from Essex most weeks, and seeing Paul Day, my other coach, as and when for a bit of technical side of the boxing and stuff. Yeah, I've just been really using it positively, to be honest, and I've got a really good structure in place. And I'm just, use the time as best as I can to work on areas that maybe I wouldn't have had time to work on before, like more of my strength training, that sort of thing. And then trying to spar regularly as well. And then when I'm sparring certain people, I can pick out elements that you need to work on that loss or that. And we really go away and we're really trying to perfect those things. Just really using it positively. Aside from boxing, just spending some really decent time with family, friends as best I can and when I can. Back to PTing now and teaching my classes as well, which is really good. They're really lively too. So it's just nice to just get a little bit of normality coming back. I think we all need that really. So just ticking over.
Yeah, good stuff. So for those that don't know you, you're 4-1-1 in the pro ranks as a super flyweight. So again, you know, I know a bit about your career, but talk to us about what got you into it and your career so far.
Yeah, so basically it started really when I was probably about 13, and my dad took me to a local kickboxing show. And I just remember looking at some of the girls that were boxing that night and thinking, I could be really good at this. And it just kind of just stemmed from there really. I think the seed was planted, but I didn't really act on it until I was about 18. And that's when I was sort of, because I've always been a shy person, I kind of plucked up the courage to go and ask when the classes were for kickboxing. And just went along to a local club, did that for a little bit. I think about there for about 2.5 years, did a couple of like inter-club shows, nothing too serious. And then I was introduced to Paul Day at Stevenage Boxing Club. I was a little bit 50-50 whether I was going to go or not, because I was so into the kickboxing. But I went along, I give it a go. And to be honest, he took me under his wing from day one. And I loved it ever since. And then it all kind of just rolled on from there, you know. Had a good amateur career. I think, what did I do that? About 6 years as an amateur, I think. Didn't have loads of fights, we had about 20. And then we switched over to the pro side of things. That wasn't really in my sights, to be honest, professional boxing. But what made that decision was there was a time when boxing clubs were deciding whether they was going to go to England Boxing or Boxing Alliance, and our club went to the Alliance, which basically left me with no competition. So having had a little chat with my coaches and stuff, they were like, why don't you try the professional ranks? Because William Webber, who I trained with, he had just signed over as well. And I was like, do you know what? I don't know. Is there even any competition for me? Would I strive doing this? I don't really know too much about it. And having a little think about it, we decided that it was either go professional or I don't really know what's left for me. So it kind of just rolled off from there, really. So, yeah.
Good stuff. So you're 4-1-1 now. So what I've noticed as well, many people have as well, when it comes to sort of the female boxing, the step up is kind of faster, isn't it, for women at the moment, which is good. It's a great platform. So in regards to your career as well, when you look at if we take your one sole defeat, that hasn't really damaged your chances or anything like that. You're still up there. You're still getting some fight news, which again, you've got some news which touch wood you can talk about, but it hasn't really dampened your chances or anything. So in regards to your actual sole defeat, what did that do to you mentally? Was it just a case of crack on, or did you feel like you won that and it was an injustice? Or
yeah, I mean, you know, even as an amateur, you know, I took losses on my record then, and at the time, yeah, it is damaging. You kind of think, oh, you know, you start doubting yourself, and you know, you do go in a bit of a mental hole. You know, it's not great at the time, but you know what? It's early days in your career, and I just really don't think that a loss can define you. And I think what makes it easier for me, that loss, is that I've said it before to people, and most people who went agree with me, is that I don't feel that I lost that fight. I put on a really good performance, in my opinion. My coaches were happy. My manager at the time was very, very happy with me. And, you know, sometimes that's just how boxing goes. You don't always get the win, but I've come out of it, and it makes you stronger. You know, we were thinking, oh, maybe we could get another rematch with this girl in the future. I don't know whether that would ever happen. I'm not sure. But, you know, I just think learn from it and move on. And I think with women's boxing, you know, you can move up the ranks quite quickly. And I don't really think that it played, especially this early in your career, it's not overly damaging. So I think I can still move forward with it quite quickly. So yeah, I think, losses don't define you really, you know, and I've learned a lot from that. So I'm just gonna move on from it. It's gone, it's in the past.
Yeah, it's done, isn't it? I mean, when you look at the Superfly rankings, you're still campaigning at Superfly, aren't you?
Yes.
Some of the champions that are up there in your division, they've got multiple losses and so on and so forth. So they've still achieved. Is there anyone in the pro ranks that you're keeping an eye on? I know you're only 4-1-1 at the moment, but some of the champions have had only a few more fights than yourself. So the jump up in fights isn't that much, is it, Lauren?
Exactly, yeah. I think my category that I'm sort of going to be boxing at, there's not loads of people in it. And in terms of the champions and stuff that are at the top, because I am sort of still at the beginning of my career, I mean, God knows where I would have been if COVID hadn't happened, but, you know, I am still at the beginning. So I need to really focus on getting back to, you know, winning ways, getting rid of some ring rust, that sort of thing, before I really focus on the top ones at the minute. That is what I want to eventually aim for and go for, but I just want to start getting the ball rolling. I've got a new management now, and I just want to put together what I've been working on over lockdown, really, and just see how that goes, and then just take one battle at a time. I want to start stepping it up now as well, because I've had the 6 fights, you know, and I want to start stepping up the rounds as best I can, and aiming towards, you know, looking at competing for titles and that sort of thing. So I think just get my next fight out of the way, and then I can start thinking specific names and that sort of thing. But at the moment, I've not really got my eyes set on that one at the top. I think I just like to let it go, see, just take it as it comes, really. You know?
Yep, and we heard on the grapevine that apparently you were going to fight on a big one of Eddie's cards, like, was it last year, and then you decided it wasn't for yourself? Tell us about that story. What happened? Because sometimes everyone's dream, isn't it, to fight on a matchroom card, isn't it?
Yeah, so I was in the car. I just come back from the supermarket, and I got an email from a guy. I can't remember his name now, and he explained that he was from Matchroom, and he said, "Oh, just to get in contact, how would you feel about fighting on the undercard of?" I can't remember who it was now. It was Dillian White. I can't remember. Against Ramla Ali, actually.
Okay.
And immediately I was like, oh God, my heart's beating, you know, I'm thinking, oh my God, what a great opportunity. Straight on the phone to my coach. So I phoned, I said, look, I've had this message come through, blah, 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 blah. He goes, no, Loz, no, just stop. I was like, why? He goes, because just no. He goes, that's my opinion. You're not fight fit, for one. You've been ticking over, but you're not fight fit. It's in 2 weeks' time. And he said, you're serious about your career, aren't you? And I was like, yeah, exactly. He goes, well, I don't want you to put you in there when you're not fight fit, really. But speak to your manager, see what he says. So I got on the phone to Steve. Steve, I've had this call. I'm really excited, blah, blah, blah. What do you reckon? No, it's not happening. I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. And he says, to be honest, guys, if you're serious about your career, we're going to be picking and choosing when the time's right for you. You know, Ramla Ali is a good girl, you know, really nice person as well. And, you know, she's got her sights set on big things too. So I think, again, this early in your career, you want to be picking and choosing the fights that are correct for you. Yeah. And that's something that I've had to learn. I'm all like, yeah, put me in there, put me in. I don't care, I'll get in over anyone. But I've got to learn that things are done at the right timing, because if I was to lose or whatever, because I was being pulled in as a B fighter, well then it's not really doing me any favours, is it? Not that I don't have confidence in my ability, 100% I do, and I would have done it. If they said, yeah, do it, I'll straight in there, no problem. But yeah, I'm learning that things are to be done at the right time, and I can't be too eager. So yeah, it was exciting times, but I soon got told, yeah.
Because you've got, I think Ramal Ali's now going to be debuting in the USA, isn't it? Very soon. From what we've heard, so she's going on to some. Yeah. So going on to some big things. No, but that's good. So when are you out in action next? In terms of what's it looking like? I know you can't give too much away, but is it looking soon or?
Yeah. So I've always had my eyes and our eyes, everyone's eyes, under Steve Goodwin set on September. I have had some good news, but I can't really talk about it yet. So I think I'm allowed to say more as of next week. But yeah, I've got a date now set, and I will be starting to work towards that. So as soon as I can tell you, I will. But right now, I'm not.
No doubt we'll reach out again next week and find out. So looking at the sort of things that are going on at the moment with Wilder Fury, you are a Fury fan, it's safe to say, from when I spoke to you last time. What do you make of this whole arbitration? And we're getting Wilder Fury 3 now as opposed to Fury versus AJ.
You know what, if I'm totally honest, I've just kind of lost track with it all. And you know, you hear this 1 minute they're fighting AJ, then it's the Wilder, then it's this, then it's that. It has been signed with Wilder, I'm right, yeah?
24th of July.
Yeah, I mean, great, get that one out of the way. I would have liked to have seen the AJ fight, to be honest, because it has been hyped up for a long time. And it's just one that I think I'd just be more interested in, like seeing him box Wilder again for a third time. It's like, oh, it's just a bit whatever sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, I've not really been paying too much attention to it, and mainly because I've sort of been like, well, as soon as Eddie puts it out there and that sort of thing, then I'm more inclined to say, okay, right, it's definitely on. Whereas it's been to and fro, and it's, I don't know what's going on. So yeah, I've not really paid too much attention, but I am a Fury fan, so I will tune in and watch that one, and hopefully he gets the win again, which I believe he will.
Yeah, it'll be a good one. Only a month away now.
It'll be good.
Will you be watching Mayweather versus Logan Paul or Jake Paul? I forget which one now.
No, maybe I'll watch a few clips afterwards to see how it went down. But to be honest, I'm not really interested in that sort of thing. I mean, fair play to these YouTubers standing up and doing all that. But to be honest, I just find it a little bit disrespectful, to be fair. I just think I'm not going to put my money into that to pay to watch it, to be honest. Like I said, if there's clips and stuff afterwards, I might just have a cheeky look, but I'm not going to be invested in my time for that. I'm surprised Mayweather actually agreed to that. I know it's money, a lot of it is all generated through money, but I just think for someone who's got, you know, a nice clean record, is it great? I just think you're putting yourself in that position. Why would you do that? I just don't like that really. But yeah, it's not really something that I'm interested in or pay attention to be honest. It's all hyped up for the money, and I'm more for the sport, you know.
Good stuff. So just very finally then, for the viewers on Raps, where can people follow you? Yes, so I'm mainly on Instagram, and you can find me at Lauren Parker Boxer, so that's my main one. I am on Twitter as well. Don't really use it as much. Now and again I'll sign in and have a little bit what's going on, but that is L Parker Boxer. And you can also find me on Facebook at Lauren Parker Boxer. Now I've obviously got my private page and I've got my athlete page. So if anyone wants to follow me on Facebook, I'd appreciate if they could add the athlete page rather than the personal one. But yes. No problem. Well, listen, look, thank you from Raps on TV. We'll be in touch soon when you've got that fight date. Hopefully it's very, very soon so we can, you know, get out this drought, because the last time you were out in action was 2019. So it was a while ago. So, yeah, all the best then from Raps on TV, and we'll be in touch soon. Brilliant. Can I just quickly shout out my sponsors? Absolutely.
Just quickly, yeah. So we've got Booty Beats, which is a vegan cafe in Letchworth. They helped me out with a few bits. I've got music producer Mitchell Parker. He does all my ring walk music. John Parker, who is my dad, works for JC Parker Installations, and he sorts all my petrol out and travel to sparring. Kelly Woodhams, who is a web designer, so she does all my website and in control of that. And then lastly, Look Logos of Stevenage, who do all my printing on my t-shirts. And yeah, Suzanne's a lovely lady. So yeah, brilliant. Thank you to all of them who helped me out with my sponsorship.
Good stuff. Thank you for that. And listen, look, have a great day. And yeah, you know, you tell us when your fight date's penciled in, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Definitely. Well, maybe I can reveal it next week. So after that, we'll sort something out. Yeah.
No problem. Cheers for that.
Cheers, mate.